Hey, and welcome to another episode of Working Like a Woman. Stacy Wood here with Through the Woods Consulting, and I have my friend Morgan here with me today, and we're going to jump into all about Morgan in a minute. But just as a reminder, Working Like a Woman is just a little video series and blog series we're doing with awesome women around Richmond who are running their own business, running their own life in a way that works for them authentically and uniquely. And it's basically women that I think are pretty great and I want to learn things from, so I figured I'd share it with everybody in the process. So remember, after the video wraps, look below for the link so that you can follow along with the blog with the rest of the questions, because it's sort of a two-part series, video and then a little blog with some deeper questions. So with no further ado, Morgan, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really honored to be here.
So would you share with everyone who you are, what you do, all about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Morgan Montgomery, CPCE. I'm a certified professional in catering and
I
events.
was going to say, it's a lot of initials so that I can't.
I actually have a degree in theater, so my parents are really impressed I have letters after my name.
Yes.
I'm not a doctor, but I got some letters.
That is very good.
I am the co-captain of Paisley and Jade,
Okay.
which is a vintage and specialty rental company based here in Richmond.
Yes.
And we sort of serve the Mid-Atlantic.
Okay.
But we provide bars, sofas, chairs to
That's so cute.
anybody who's looking for visual displays. So weddings, events, film and TV, corporate events, kind of anybody that needs to rent a piece of furniture, a unique architectural piece for something, we can provide that for them.
And I will just tell you, their pieces are amazing.
Thank you.
I've been there for several events as a guest. I've hosted a couple events there. I've done photo shoots there. Yeah, talk about your space too. Is that still rentable?
Yeah, so
Okay.
we have a 1,200 square foot showroom space. It's all white walls, beautiful natural light. And in our off season, just because the event season here in Virginia, thanks to the lovely weather we have,
Yeah.
in the off season for events, we do rent it for small, non-social events, like no baby showers or bridal showers.
Right.
But if you're trying to host a networking event or you're doing headshots or a marketing shoot for your company, we rent the space for that.
Been there for all of the above, and the photos turn out amazing.
We love that space. We really lucked into it. So.
And just the fact of using the accessories they have on hand to make your photos and your networking event unique are amazing. All right, fabulous. How long have you had it now?
So Paisley and Jade is 7 years old.
Okay.
I'm actually a New England native, but I've been in Richmond for 11 years now. So
Do you consider yourself a Virginia now?
my bio and all that stuff, it all says I'm a New England native,
Okay.
but from Virginia. So my husband's from here, and I've been here long enough now.
Yeah. I mean, you don't totally sound like a New Englander.
I mean, here's the thing: a glass of wine or a phone call home to my mother, and it comes right out.
Yeah, I have found out on this video that I have more of a Southern drawl than I thought that I have, especially if you throw the glass of wine in there.
Yep,
So I
absolutely.
get that. Totally get that. All right. Anything else we need to know about you? How to reach you?
Oh yeah, you can follow us on the internet. All my favorite places at Paisley and Jade. That's good for all the social platforms.
Yes.
You can check out our inventory and our collection at paisleyandjade.com.
Okay.
And yeah, we are all over the internet, so come find us there.
Yay. All right. Are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Okay. So 10 rapid fire questions. They start out very easy. They may get a little harder.
Okay.
The good news is there's no right or wrong answer.
Excellent.
So
I love it.
You won't fail. And then we'll shut down the video and pick up the rest of the interview with some really deep thought questions.
Perfect.
All right, number one. This is one of my favorite questions. What is your favorite accessory? And seeing that you're in the business of accessories and you just showed me your chair.
My chair tattoo.
I'm not sure what the answer is going to be.
So it's actually my sunglasses,
Okay.
which is so funny because before we started the video, Stacey was like, "Hey, do you want your shades on?"
Keep them on.
It's sort of one of those things that I wear them all the time. I have them on in my headshot. I'm on the board of the National Association for Catering and Events.
Okay.
So we do a big conference with 600 attendees, and I have to get on stage. And I'll never forget one time, one of my fellow board members goes, "Oh, Morgan, you forgot your shades." And I said, "Oh no, they're supposed to be there."
Yes.
They're my favorite. They keep my hair back. They're
it.
also utilitarian, but it's kind of one of those little personality things I've become known for.
That is
so.
just your thing. Oh, I'm impressed because I fiddle with mine when they're on my head. So.
Well, I don't buy nice ones because they.
Oh, you
I'm one of those people who they fall off. I break them.
Okay, so you're not afraid to wear them
No,
out.
so these are like a Target special.
I like you even more. Okay. Question number 2. What is your favorite part of the day?
Oh, going to bed. I love sleeping. And I keep a pretty good schedule. So for me, there's really nothing better than my bed is very comfortable. I've invested a lot of like time and money into quality bedding, a very great space. I don't have a TV in my room. I love my dog, but my dog's not allowed in my husband and my bedroom. So
not in the room at all?
No.
Wow.
So it's just like,
It's great, there's no hair.
Yeah, exactly. And I wear all dark colors, so this is a really good move on my part. But I love going to bed at night, but I also love it because it gives me the opportunity to take a couple minutes and I wouldn't say necessarily meditate, but reflect on sort of what I accomplished that day or maybe didn't accomplish, and then really what I want to do the next day and what kind of intention I want to set for the following day.
That's awesome.
So
beautiful. Number 3, what is your hobby?
Oh, definitely traveling.
Okay.
So my personal Instagram is at Morgan Montgomery, but with no vowels. So it's like MRGNMNTGMRY. Really smart until I had to like say it out loud.
Explain it to people, right?
But I actually have a hashtag called #BadAirportFlooring, and it's my feet in terrible airport interior design choices like around the world.
Most of them?
Yeah, they're pretty much mostly terrible. Yeah. But I was on the road 119 days last year in 2018. That's a combination of speaking engagements, stuff for the organization I'm involved in, personal travel, stuff for work. So I'm on the road a lot, and I feel like if it wasn't a hobby or a passion of mine, I probably wouldn't continue to do it so much.
You'd be miserable.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sidebar, where's the coolest place you've been?
Well, my favorite place I've ever been, and this is hilarious coming from somebody in the wedding industry who like pays my mortgage based on weddings, but I eloped. My husband and I, in 2011 went to Guana Island, which is a private island in the British Virgin Islands. It's an 850-acre nature preserve. It holds 36 people. There's, we didn't use our cell phones. We completely shut off. It's a piece of heaven. It's, white beaches, beautiful ocean. So that's my favorite place.
All right, I didn't get that link from you after we're done here. I will look that up, put it on the short list. Number 4, what is either your favorite song right now or one of your most inspirational songs?
Well, I would say that obviously like pop culture wise, like I love Lizzo. I sort of
the third person who's told me that.
Every time it comes on, you can't help but feel like empowered and happy and that kind of stuff. I think also for me, again, I have a theater background, mostly in scenic design and stage management, but anything that's got that theatrical twinge to it. So like, I really love The Greatest Showman, and the songs in that movie just like really speak to me. So
you just made me totally geek out. My kids and I are obsessed with it.
Yeah,
it's pretty much the soundtrack I listen to over and over and over, and like when I work out.
Yep.
That's pretty much all I listen to.
Yeah, so those are some favorites.
Oh, love it. Okay, excellent. We all have a bucket list. It sounds like you travel a lot.
I do.
Usually travel is heavy on the bucket list, but it doesn't have to just be travel. So would you share one thing with us that is on your bucket list?
Yeah, this is easy for me because it's been the same for a long time.
All these are so easy for you.
I love it. I've always wanted to write a coffee table book. And
like pictograph or write?
Like words and photos. And here's the thing, I'm in a visual business, but I have no idea what it will be about. But like, I really love coffee table books, and I want to write one. I don't know what about. I don't know what form that will take. I'm a big believer that the more you put stuff out in the world, the more likely it is to happen.
Yeah.
So anytime I go anywhere and people are like, what's your big dream? What do you want to do? I'm like, universe, I want to write a coffee table book.
I feel like it might be about airport floors.
It could be airport floors. People always thought it would be about chairs, and I'm like, I think that might be obvious, but so.
Well, you could write more than one.
I could, absolutely. Why stop with one?
Start with chairs and go from there.
Absolutely.
Cool, very cool. This one gets a little harder.
Okay.
What do you think is your best quality?
Oh.
Yeah, we went from bucket list to best quality real quick.
I would say that my best quality is that I unfailingly always think that things will turn out okay. So even when things are hitting the fan.
Yeah.
And it would be really easy, and some people might be like, oh, it's just like not happening. I inevitably, consistently am just like, well, this is what the end goal is. So I just need to go from here to point A to point B. And if that doesn't work, then we're going to point B2, B3, B4. I just, when encountered with a difficult situation, my outlook isn't, oh my gosh, I'll never get over this. It's always, what's the path I have to take to get there, and how might that change along the way?
That's huge, because most of us at some point become crippled by fear of the what if.
Mm-hmm.
So have you always been this way, or did you have to work to cultivate that?
I think it's probably, I mean, being in the event business, it's this constant like,
Everything's
what if,
always
what if, what if.
messed up, right.
And it's actually, I was just recounting last night with a group of event professional friends. In the fall of 2017, we had an event that was happening, and we had a truck that ended up in a ditch. And so the ceremony was in like an hour and a half, and I had an entire wedding's worth of rentals in a ditch. And the option there is really, do you go, so sorry, like I can't do anything?
Yeah, your wedding's ruined.
Right. Or you have to say, okay, what am I going to do to make this happen?
Get 18 cars out there.
And I mean, we made it happen, but I do think it's that attitude of not just like, oh, this, I'm done, I'm over it. Yeah. So, and I think being in the event industry has really cultivated that for me, because, you know, when somebody has put their faith in you, and they've invested in you financially, you have to come through. So saying, oh, it's not happening just isn't an option.
So you're really problem solving every day, and you're overcoming challenges every day. So I feel like maybe that has groomed you to continue to look for the positive. 100%. So even if it's not related to your business, if it's a financial piece of your business or something in your personal life, you're able to take those skills and transfer them.
Yeah, 100%.
Love it. Such a good one. Most of us need help on that one. Number 7 is, how do you invest in yourself besides an awesome bed and protected sleep, which I think protected sleep is one of the most important things anyone can do. What else do you do for Morgan?
I'm somebody that considers myself a lifelong learner. So for me, continuing education is huge. Yeah. I'm a bit of a conference junkie. So
it's an expensive habit.
It is. And it's funny because I actually do some speaking at conferences, and part of the reason I started doing that is I was going to so many conferences, I was like, I can't afford it.
I need to be able to speak, so I go for free.
Right, because when you speak, they often either give you a discounted rate or they give you a free education pass or whatever. So I started speaking to be able to attend more conferences. But that's the thing I do for myself, is I'm constantly going to all different kinds of conferences, whether it's as a speaker or as an attendee, just because I think that when we stop learning is really when we stop, moving forward and progressing, for sure.
Definitely, 100% agree. What would you say is your biggest passion in life? I mean, you've shared with us a lot of things about you personally that you love and turn you on, but what is your driving passion?
That's a really tough one. I think from a work standpoint, one of the things that drives me every day is knowing that I have a team of employees who come to work every day with the faith that this business is going to sustain their life.
Yeah.
That they come to work knowing that they're going to get paid a paycheck that's going to feed their kids, pay their mortgage, help them go on vacation. So for me, that's a huge driving force. It's a big responsibility.
That's a huge responsibility. How many employees do you have?
There are 7 of us full-time on our team, and
then all your part-time.
And then 10 to 15 part-time, depending on the season.
A lot of responsibility.
Yeah, but it's a huge motivator too.
Yes.
So when you get to those moments where you're like, I'm frustrated, or I don't feel like it, or whatever, it's not just if I don't book that client, I don't get paid. If we don't book that client, or if we don't solve this problem, that can negatively impact an entire team of people who put their faith in us to really take care of them. So that's huge for me from a work perspective. Yeah. From a personal perspective, I think it's just the idea of coming back to being a lifelong learner, always growing. For me, I'm really passionate about learning new things, seeing new places, meeting new people. I love that sort of stimulation, not new all the time, but learning and growing and constantly evolving.
Discovering new things.
Yeah.
Love it. Number 9, this is always an interesting one for me because I like to pick off of other people. What are you reading right now?
Oh, that's a good one. So I actually am on my 2nd book this week. I love to read. And I actually...
I feel very uneducated right now.
No, I don't read a lot because my problem is that once I start, I can't stop.
Got it.
So I'm the type of person, again, I go to sleep at a regular time.
Yeah.
If I'm reading a book, I'll stay up all night.
Bedtime.
Yeah. So actually, I spent the past weekend at the river, and I read Tana French's The Witch Elm, which is a like murder mystery. Tana French is an Irish writer.
Oh.
I love those books. There's a whole bunch of them. It's not really a series per se, but typical sort of Dublin Murder Squad. Intelligent enough where you're feeling like it's not a total like beach read.
Yeah,
but,
you haven't totally wasted your brain.
Right.
But
entertaining.
Feels good.
And then so I read that on Sunday. That was basically like I sat in the sun and enjoyed the hot weather.
Day.
Yeah.
That's a hot day.
And then since then I've started 5 Days at Memorial, which is the Pulitzer Prize winning book about the 5 days at Memorial Hospital during Hurricane Katrina. My mom actually read it and recommended it to me, and it's a big guy. It's been sitting in my house for a while, and I decided to dive in. I've got some travel coming up, so the only thing I didn't think about is normally I do read books digitally on my phone because I'm on the move so much.
Yeah.
My mom actually physically gave me this book, and
it's gonna
big.
Your whole carry-on bag for the plane.
I'm probably gonna end up just buying it digitally because at this point, like, my handbag is already a suitcase with laptop, books, all that stuff.
Yes,
so.
very familiar with that concept.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, breaking the shoulder.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. It sounds like you're one of those people that you start a book and you finish it cover to cover.
100%.
You don't read multiple things.
Can't do it.
Yeah. It's a very bad habit. I'm literally, I read 5 books at a time.
I can't do it.
I drive myself. And then I have my Audible book on top of it.
Oh man, I have some podcasts that I like alternate between,
Yeah.
and I can stop like mid-episode in those and bounce back and forth. But with books, for whatever reason, I struggle.
Yeah. No, I think you're doing it the right way.
I think as long as you're reading, right?
Right. Keep your brain sharp.
Exactly.
Keep it from turning to mush. All right. We're already at number 10.
Oh boy.
I know. So, share with us, if you would, what you would consider your best life hack tip or quote or inspiration, something to share with other women who are watching, who are really striving to be, like, just live their life with intention and live their best life and step into their awesomeness.
I think what I would say, and like, I don't know where it falls into like hack or quote or whatnot, but I think it's if somebody's giving you a compliment or somebody is saying something that they believe in you, to hold on to that and let them keep telling it to you even if you don't believe it. Mm-hmm. My grandmother to this day tells me that she believes I'm going to be the first female president of the United States. Oh. I'm not, and I'm not interested in that job at all. But rather than say like, Grandma, I'm not, I let her say that, and every time she says it to me, it just builds me up that little bit more.
Yes.
And to know that there's somebody out there who believes in me that much. And so she'll see, my mom sends her like pictures off Facebook and stuff like that. And so she'll see me, and she'll probably watch this interview too and leave a comment.
Oh, please leave a comment. I would love to meet you, Grandma.
But really, like when I do stuff or I speak or whatnot, she'll very specifically be like, hey, you know what, you did such a good job speaking. See, when you become president, it's going to be awesome. And just to hear somebody say that constantly to you builds you up and makes you feel like so great. So let those people compliment you. Don't shut those compliments down. And really, take the light that comes from that.
I think that's beautiful advice, and it's so resonating right now because of this conversation I had a few days ago, how if someone gives you a compliment and you say, oh, no, you're throwing away their gift. Mm-hmm. They just gave you a gift, and you're basically saying and throwing their gift away. And that's so rude. So I love that advice.
And I think as women, oftentimes we do this thing too where we explain it away. Like,
yes.
Like, oh, hey, like somebody will say to me like, oh, you guys did a great job on my wedding. And I'll be like, oh, well, the team and this person and, they did this. And again, like, I think it's so important to share that with other people. Absolutely. But to take that moment and say, thank you. I really do think that we did do a good job. Right. Also, I was so excited that so-and-so was able to help and contribute. Mm-hmm. Like, you can just still take that compliment and share it.
Yeah, we definitely, as a species, as women, have trouble letting that land and owning our successes. Mm-hmm. So, excellent advice. All right, stay tuned. Look for the link below. We're going to dig into the really deep, meaty questions now, and that'll be in my blog. But I would like to say cheers to Morgan.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. This was lots of fun. So check us out on the blog for the rest of it.